Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee and this is the Optimistic Network. I kind of wanted to do a back to school video, even though I'm not a mom and I'm not in school at the moment, but I've been in enough school and been around enough moms to know what back to school feels and looks like. Also, I've spoken to moms and I know how some people get excited, nervous because some of them have children leaving for school for the first time, starting school for the first time, going to a new grade or going to new colleges. Today I wanted to touch on back to school because what would this channel be if we didn't talk about education? I think I have a few videos where I say college is not extremely important if you don't know what you want to pursue. I kind of wanted to make this back to school video because I don't want people thinking that I'm saying education is not important, because education is extremely important, especially in today's day and age. You see on the news, you have to be able to understand, you have to be able to read. If you want to drive, you have to be able to read direction, you have to be able to write, you have to be able to understand things put in front of you. So education is very important to me. I know from experience that when you're venturing out in new things, even if it's just a new job and you're starting, you're a little nervous, you're a little worrisome. I mean, you don't want to seem like a freak or a weirdo. You want to fit in, not necessarily fit in to do what the in crowd is doing, but basically you just want to be, you know, a good person and be accepted even though everybody won't accept you. I was trying to make a list here, but I figured out freestyle it. I started curating my own list, but then I thought about it and I'm like, man, this is gonna be a long. I wanted to make this video to kind of take away that anxiety that you get when you're getting closer to a deadline and you don't have everything prepared, and the deadline would be school opening. So I kind of wanted to talk about some back to school in case you're forgetting certain things or you're feeling a little discombobulated. You guys can just get a little knowledge and a little push and a little motivation from it basically. So I'm just gonna touch on random things. I hope this video help you guys, or at least just bring you to the realization that school is just around the corner, and most of these things that I'm gonna talk about, you guys should have done them already. You guys probably should be in the prep session of back to school. I'm a Caribbean girl, I'm from Jamaica, and I know school doesn't go on summer break until about July, and I know in America school go on summer break in May, start August. In the Caribbean it goes on summer break in July and start back September. So this is close to the end of August where school always starts in the US. However, the people in the Caribbean have a little more time to prep, but if you're in the US, I hope you're already prepped and you're ready for back to school. Do you want to hear what I'm gonna say about school? You just stay tuned and keep on watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Whether you're a parent with a child going to school or you're a child going to school, this is just gonna tell you how to prep for back to school. And I think this would mainly go to the responsible party, and I consider you a responsible party if you are probably above grade 5. You're a responsible party to, you know, remind your mom that, you know, school is coming up, what and what you need. And if you're a college student, I trust that you can go out and buy your stuff and get prepared for school, yeah, maybe with the help of your parents financially, but don't leave it all to them to decide what you want. Go get it for you. If you're a college student, get up and go get your own stuff. That's the first place. Let me start there. Get up and go get your own stuff if you're a college student. First, I want to touch on planning. Planning is everything. Start thinking about back to school. First of all, think about the date. When is your school starting? When is school starting? Think about the date now, what it is now, what date it is now, and then you measure the time. How much time do I have left to get everything? If you're a parent, hopefully your thinking started once your child went on holiday. So you know you have to save a little more, you know you got to take that loan, you know you got to do whatever you got to do to get your child back in school. So with planning, I'm talking about thinking. So what are you thinking about now? Have you thought about the stuff that you're gonna get? Have you thought about where you're gonna get them? If not, let's do it together. Okay, so now that I got you thinking, get a piece of pen and a paper and write it down. I can't tell you what to write down because I don't know what you or your child need. Sorry, but let's start by just jotting down the things you're gonna buy. So what are you gonna buy? Jot that down. What does your child need? No, I did not mistake want and need. We're talking about need. What does your child need? You gotta think about what your child need and before you think about what they want. Especially if you struggle financially when it comes to your child or your own schooling. Let's think about what you need. Start jotting those down. Jot those down. Just take a pause and jot the things that you need down. I'm here. You can pause me. I'm not going anywhere. here. Okay, I hope you jotted that down. For everything that you jotted down, right beside them exactly where you're gonna purchase them. If you know, if you don't know, just put a question mark, but if you know, right beside them wherever you're gonna purchase them. Good for you if you're gonna purchase everything in one location, because that just takes the stress out of everything, don't it? Don't you like just going to places that you can get everything under one roof, that you don't have to make several stops? That's why I kind of like Walmart, not advertising for Walmart, because you can get everything in Walmart and you come out and you just go home instead of making several stops. Now that you know where you're gonna buy them, let's think about one of the most important thing that people struggle with: how much they're gonna cost. Because a lot of people in this day and age is struggling financially, and it doesn't matter what we put out, it doesn't matter how we act, it doesn't matter what you see on camera, in a picture, or it doesn't matter what you see when you walk on the street. A lot of people out there are struggling financially. So if you're struggling financially, don't think you're the only person. Okay, now that you know how much they'll cost, let's think about where you're gonna get the money to buy them. Where are you gonna get the money to buy them? Now it's closer to school time, so I really hope you guys have thought about this prior to this time. But if you haven't thought about it, now would be a good time to start, because it's never too late. You still have a little time. Where are you gonna get the money to buy these things? Do you need to take out a loan? Do you need to eat out the baby father? Do you need to go to the court so you can get some child support? What do you need to do? How are you gonna finance all these things that you just write? Because they don't grow on trees. Okay, I may have been a little too pushy. Okay, you may know where you're gonna get the money, but you probably haven't worked it yet. You're probably planning on a paycheck. You're probably planning to save it. But do this for me. Even though you haven't gotten the money yet, go back to this list once a day. If you've had it, I hope you've been checking it. If not, make sure you go back to this list once a day, at least for the next couple of weeks before school opens. Look at the things. If you go in the store and you have an extra couple of bucks, you can go to that department and look to see how much it's cost, because different store have different offers, so you can get some things cheaper in one store or more expensive in another. I know a lot of people wait on a big lump sum to do something, but I've never believed in that. Like, okay, I'm waiting for that big payday when I can buy a house, buy a car, do this, do that. I was never that person. I was always the person who to go little by little by little. So if I want to buy a list of things and I have money now for one thing, I'm gonna go get that one thing and I'm gonna check that one thing off my list. So you know, if you're a person that practices that, by the time you get the money to buy the things on the list, you probably just have one or two things on the list. Or guess what, by the time you get the money, the list is probably already done. You probably bought everything on that list. If you have some extra money, don't say, oh, it's extra money, so I'm gonna do something totally unrelated to school, totally unrelated to whatever one you want to do, totally unrelated to your child, and then next thing you know, you never get that big payday that you're waiting for to buy your child. Next thing you know, your child is late for school or you're late for school, and people don't like that. Your child wanna be in school the first day, you wanna be in school the first day or within the first week. So you familiarize yourself with people and you start making friends, especially for my high school graduates that are going off to college. It's very nice to be punctual, because when you're punctual, you kind of get the best of the world. It's kind of like going to market early and you get the better stuff, you get the good stuffs. When you go later, you only get the riffraff that other people, you know, throw over. So good stuffs meaning if it's on your, if it's dorm, you get the good bed, you get the good side, you get the good view. If it's in class, you get the good seat. You know, just try to be punctual. That really helps, and it does calm anxiety. Punctuality calms anxiety. Remember that. Another thing I want to say, I hope you have, but if you have not, listen to this part. Purchase your necessities early. Purchase them early so you can make the necessary assessment and adjustment. So for example, you purchase a pair of uniform, it doesn't fit, or maybe it fit, but after you assess it as a whole, it's something is wrong with it. That way you can do the necessary adjustment. You can take it to the tailor, you can take it to the dressmaker, you can do whatever you need to do to look neat on your first day of school. So don't wait until last minute. Purchase your stuffs as soon as you're able to purchase them. That way you can look at them and you know what's wrong, and if something doesn't fit, you can send it back. If it's a shoes that don't fit, you can send it back. If it's something that you don't like the color, you can send it back. If it's a color you can't wear at school, you can send it back. When you purchase your stuffs early, nothing misses you. You're up there, you're confident that you're gonna step out looking bold, feeling confident, because that's what you want to be going back to school. Another thing I really want to say to you, if you're anxious, just know you're not the only one that's anxious when it's back to school. Even if it's before school time or at school time, remember, you're not the only one that's anxious. If you're anxious, chances are a lot of your schoolmates are anxious. They don't just not show up because they're conscious about certain things and they're anxious about certain things. They show up early, that way they can basically blend in, so there's no special attention to them. So keep in mind, you're not the only one that's anxious if you're experiencing anxiety. And anxiety is a real thing, people. It is real. And this kind of brings me to my final point. And the fact that I'm talking about showing up and punctuality, my final point is show up early, be on time. If you're a college student, visit college early. If you're a mother, even starting your child out into preschool, show up early, because when you show up early, you probably can, have a little rap with the teacher. You can see where your child sits. You can go. When you're rushing, you do not know the environment your child is going into, because you can't go take a peek because you're already late. Children are going to class. They don't want parents interrupting. They need to, especially if it's a small child, they need to get these children going. This is probably their first time going to school, first time leaving their parents. They're having withdrawal. Probably parents having withdrawal. Probably you got to give a parent a hug. If you're a college student, show up early for your dorm. Deck out your dorm. I know there's only a certain time you can move into the dorm, but I also know that when students move into the dorm, some of them move into the dorm a little later than some. Be in the early batch. Meet your roommate. Get to choose your bed. Be the first there to choose your bed, because if you show up for your dorm first, you can choose any bed you want. You can choose any corner you want. Be punctual. Be on time. And again, I say that is good for anxiety. So with all this said, I wish you all a great school year. I wish you nothing but the best. Buckle down, listen, learn, because this time you don't get this time back. Even if you repeat a grade next year because you didn't pass some classes, you won't get this time back. So buckle down. Take your book serious. Make sure you're thinking about school when you're in school. Make sure you're thinking about class when you're in class. Make sure you're thinking about that subject when you're in that class. If you're somebody younger that's going through a lot, relationship, all of that, that's not as important as your schooling and your education. The most important thing for you right now, especially if you're a teenager, is your education. No relationship, none of that. That comes, that go, that will come and go. Whoever you're stressing about now as a teenager, chances are the next 5-10 years that person won't be in your space, that person won't be in your life, and you would have come in contact with a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, and a lot of great people, probably a lot of fucked up people too, excuse my language, but you know what I'm saying, and you get the drift. So right now, if you're in school, be in school, focus on school. School is expensive. If you're not paying, you just don't know. When I never used to pay for school, it didn't affect me, so I didn't care about how much you're paying, so I didn't care to settle down because it was my money burning. But after I started paying for my own school, I realized once you're there, be there. Don't waste your money, because time and money waste can never be regained. You can get new money, you can think you have more time, but when that time is gone, you're not gonna get that time back. When that money is gone, you're not gonna get that money back, because chances are if you had that money and whatever other money you get, it would have been more money. But now you get this money and you've wasted that money, and you only have this money when you would have had more, so you would have been building. So the point that I'm making is, when you're in school, take school serious, and most of all, be peaceful, be kind, be the one kind person, be the peaceful person. You don't have to fit into every clique. That's not your responsibility. When you're in college, your responsibility is to learn the material that's given to you, or when you're in school, your responsibility is to learn the material. Most importantly, like everything else, have fun with school. Don't take it too serious that you get anxiety, you commit suicide, you're so depressed and down. Just have fun learning, even if you have to create your own fun learning. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you learn the material. So I hope this video was helpful to anyone that clicked on it. This was really serious to me, and I can ramble on all day about this, because I believe in knowledge, I believe in education, I love school. Even though when you get to my age, school is very expensive, and whatever school you're going, you have to think about it. Like I always tell you, it has to be a smart choice. You have to know that when I'm done here, and I don't think you ever know, but you have to know that when I'm done here, I'm gonna be able to pay back this money that I'm getting for school, or that I'm spending for school. You have to be able to pay back this money that I'm spending for school, or you have to be able to make back this money that I'm spending for school. Because if you're spending $1 million for school, and at the end of your schooling, you're not gonna even make make that back, or you're not able to live a comfortable life, you may as well just find something you love and go do that. So yes guys, thank you guys if you got this far in the video. I love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Mwah!